So these here are spider mites. These are on a potato vine, or also known as Ipomea. And you can see all those little tiny orbs. So those orbs are the eggs from the spider mite. So as far as we're aware, there's actually nothing that can kill the eggs of a spider mite. But the spider mite themselves are actually manageable. The problem is that they're very quick, they breed very fast, and they're very light, which means that they can actually catch draft. So quite often if you walk by the spider mite, it'll actually catch the draft of you walking by, and he'll land on your clothes, or he'll land in the aisle or on the carpet of your house, and then you have a spider mite problem. Now it's no longer contained to just that one plant. So luckily, we at our greenhouse, whenever we get Ipomea plugs in, which is this potato vine, and also whenever we get black-eyed Susan in, we use a magnifying glass and we check them before they get transplanted and put out into the greenhouse with the rest of the plants. Because we are aware that these spider mites really like potato vine. So we had the magnifying glass out and checked, and sure enough, there are spider mites. So I thought I would show you a rather unconventional method that we use to get rid of them. It might sound like a no-brainer once I say it, but yeah. So anyway, so first I'll just say there are predatory bugs that you can get that will take care of these. The most common would be a predatory mite. So we've used Persimilis in the past. That's a spider mite that will eat the spider mites, and as far as I'm aware, they'll actually eat the eggs as well. So it's actually like a little war zone when you introduce them. And so we do have some of those coming. So we try and treat them with bio-friendly. So we'll bring in predatory bugs, introduce those to our greenhouse, and then they will try and take care of the problem. Okay, so I'm going to blast these guys with Home and Garden Raid. So we do have a pesticide that is like a soap. It's like that neem oil that you can buy from PV Mart, but it's a little bit of a higher dose. And so that'll actually, as far as I understand, what that does is it chokes them. It starves them of air. They can't breathe anymore. They get covered in that soap. And so the soap that we have is a little bit of a higher dose. It's more meant for commercial greenhouses when you really have a problem you need to take care of. But I also have Home and Garden Raid, and Home and Garden Raid we found actually kills them on contact, whereas the soap will take upwards of a week before it actually starts to take effect. So I'll blast these right now with Home and Garden Raid. Unfortunately, I can't film it, and then I'll show the aftermath. Okay, let's do that now. Okay, so here we go. We've been Home and Garden Raided. You can see they're still moving, not as much. So you can see that Home and Garden Raid that they actually stop wandering around pretty quick. So that all those white drops you see, that's actually because the spider mites they have a web, and that web is typically invisible to the eye, and the spider mites will hang out underneath the web. And so if you tried to use diatomaceous earth, that web will actually catch all that diatomaceous earth and typically won't do much damage to them. Luckily, the Home and Garden Raid is a liquid, So with enough in your aerosol can, you can actually break right through that web and coat those individual bugs. So I have found success with fumigating before. So this is a direct application directly to the spider mite, where I have the leaf and I have the underside of the leaf pointing up. That's where the mites always hang out, is on the underside. And so this is a direct application. But typically, if you have a whole bunch of plants, it's especially in greenhouse applications, it's really tough to flip 300 plants upside down to spray the underside of the leaf. So what I've done in the past is I've enclosed them in a box, fumigated the box with Home and Garden Raid, closed the lids, and then let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Come back and inspect the leaves and see if the spider mites are still roaming around. But if you recall from the beginning of the video, they actually were moving quite fast, quite active. They are very quick bugs. As you can see now, they have absolutely halted movement. Whether that's because they're dead or whether that's just because they're stunned because of the Home and Garden Raid. But the good thing is that the Home and Garden Raid isn't bad for any bees or anything. This will long be gone before any bees ever find a flower on this thing. And this isn't a systemic, so it doesn't actually get soaked into the plant either. Okay, so I dried off the leaf a little bit to see if it was the moisture that was using its surface tension to prevent those from moving, or if it was actually killing the mites. I did my best just to dab the surface of the leaf with a Kleenex just to pull the moisture off and not actually kill any of the mites. But even after drying it off and giving it a minute, these mites are not moving. So that right there is a mite. I wish. And they're not moving at all. So I would say that's success. Alright, so I have one more leaf here that I decided to treat as well. I thought we would try and watch. I'm going to try and get this camera back on them immediately after I raid them. But they're very active. Look at all those eggs. Isn't that gross? Okay, well, let's Home and Garden Raid these guys, and we'll see if we can get the camera back on them instantly. So again, that Home and Garden Raid got caught by all their web. There's one there, there's one there. Well, hopefully this helps you with your spider mite problem. So this was a traditional Home and Garden Raid that you can get at any box store, and it was a direct application. So hopefully this works for you, and if it did, maybe leave a comment or give me a thumbs up in the comments, and maybe if you know a better way to take care of these spider mites, let me know down below. If you guys liked the video, maybe consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.